What's up, guys? It's Magi, and I'm coming at you tonight with a lovely StarCraft 2 match that we have. What do we have in store here? We're going to kick things off with a little bit of JSL tonight. Week 3. Blitz versus Try. Let's see how this turns out. I'm curious with that. I just revealed that it's going to be 3 games, but who wins this, I do not know. So let's dive right on into it. I'm actually really excited for a 3-game series. And to kick things off, Eternal Empire LE on game number 1. This is the JSL map for the week. For every first game will be on this at all times. And then we go to our bands, pick some bands, you know, etc., etc. Anyway, so with that being said, let's get things started. In the top right-hand corner, the red Zerg pieces from Valor G. It is Blitz. Let's move this over and turn this fan off. All right, there we go. All right, we're good. Now it should be a little bit better. And in the bottom left-hand corner, the pink Protoss Paces. It is Try. Was it Try on the team last week? I don't remember. I thought he was, she was. I don't remember. I have to take a look and see what's going on there. But hey, let's check it out. We do have a probe on the way out across the map. Another probe throwing down that pylon gateway pretty quickly there. Must have got to throw the pylon on the way out. What's going on here? It's just an overlord. It's okay. It's just an overlord. It's alright. No problem. No problem. Try got a little curious about what saw on the map moving around there. Make sure it wasn't a drone or something. But it was just an overlord, so we're good. He's going to get over here and check out and see what's going on. Now, Blitz, on the other hand, looking for the 17 hatch gas pull. That's what it looks like to me. Probably a 15 hatch, actually. I think there's a 15 hatch to beat out the pylon. Don't want to get blocked. Having to move that base as a Zerg because of a pylon block is always kind of annoying. It doesn't really slow too much down, just makes it a little bit more difficult to defend your natural expansion at that point, because, you know, your natural is no longer at the bottom of your ramp, it'll be somewhere like up here. Cybernetics Core on the way with the Nexus for Try on Eternal Empire. Now, this is one thing I always like to take note of. There's these rocks here for an excellent natural wall in that ramp. So, you know, about the same 3 buildings to wall that off. There's nothing hidden anywhere, is there? Okay, no, it doesn't look like it. So far, we've seen Blitz likes to play some very aggressive styles. And he's also somewhat decent at ZVZ, you know. Pretty solid match last time around. Especially that game number 2 against, I believe it was Gooby. If you guys haven't watched that one, I highly recommend it. It was a pretty good series overall. Overlord getting in here, taking a look around. You have a stock on the way out, so this Overlord should end up getting picked off. It'll be a little bit, might get it. It depends on the rally. Nah, the Overlord's going to get away before he can get there, so. Third base all the way down here for Blitz. So both players looking to play a little bit more economic focused. Real question, who's going to strike first? You know, who's going to be that cheeky one there? Stalker getting after that Overlord. Might end up picking it off. It's going to be close. It'll get it. It'll get it. Adept on the way out. Another gateway being added on. So we don't have a Twilight Council just yet. We don't have a Robo. Really, let's see what Try decides to do here. Meanwhile, Blitz getting speed finished up. This is going to be one of those long series, isn't it? One of those long macro-based series. Another Overlord on the way. Adept making a way across the map. Get in there, see what we can see. Poke around a bit. Maybe get a drone or two. Adept on the way. Going to have to rally up and catch up with the other one. We actually have nothing really being produced. I mean, this is no crazy tech changes just yet. There we go. There's that Roach Warren coming down. Looks like we finally see some tech choices being made here. Three-base Roach. Curious to see where this ends up going here for Blitz. that one. Get one drone. Ooh, drone transfers. These adepts come down here. That could be kind of... What was I gonna say? That could be kind of scary. He's going to get in there. Focus down one more drone. Two. All right, three drones. Three drones can get out. Pretty good. You know the third base is down. Get some economic damage done. Still no tech choices just yet here for Try. Try going to get that third base up. Zergling here to spot that. Probe will end up getting picked off. So we're going 3 base to 3 base. Okay, Robo all the way down with a Twilight Council. Double Robo. Alright, so there it is. Double Robo. I imagine this will be into some Colossi tech. Evo Chambers on the way as well. Both players just kind of giving each other a little bit of room to breathe and a little bit of respect on both fronts. I imagine it is a throw caution to the wind type of deal. I feel like both players have done their homework on each other. 1-1 coming up from both sides. We do have a little bit of a scuffle here at the front. The Stalker is going to end up getting picked off. Good little surround there. Oh, but these Lings do slip in. This could start to spell a little bit of disaster here for Tries. They're going to make their way into that probe line. 2 probes fallen already. With the Warping of the Stalker should help shoo this away. 3 probes. Alright, 3 probes and only lost a handful of Lings. Roach speed is on the way. Layer is done for Blitz. Let's see what he does with that. I'm curious as to whether he's going to decide to do some kind of crazy, I don't know, 3 base push, Nidus, I'm not exactly sure because Blitz has a tendency to kind of surprise a lot of players. I feel like because, his first series in the Cassid, it was just a quick 2-0, like 1-2 done. And then the next series, the second game against Gooby was definitely a bit more of a slugfest. Alright, he's going to go ahead and secure that 4th base. Keep it ahead in base count. Overlord going to get picked off here. But he does see everything. So Blitz getting here is staying on top of that information gathering, so to speak. Now, it's interesting that he chose to take the low ground here. I mean, you got the gas guys here. It's going to be rich gas. Going to produce a little bit more gas from that location. Versus taking the high ground, because the high ground is a little more easier to defend. I mean, it does set you up to have a easier time taking that one later. And plus, the gas for Zerg is going to be huge here, because it's going to allow a lot of roaches to be produced, hydras to be produced. It's going to allow you to tech up a little bit faster. This Overseer getting in here once again and seeing absolutely everything. Does he see the Immortals there? A little bit out of range. He should see one pop out here. Let's see where he's looking. He's not actually looking into main right now. Okay. Just focusing back on the macro. Getting upgrades started once again. Up to 4 Immortals. Gonna be in play here for Try. Push coming out across the map here. It looks like Blitz wants to make the first move. He's going to jump in here on this base. He's actually going to go ahead and try. Is he going to go for the 4th? Does he know the 4th is there? No, he doesn't. Okay, he does not know about that 4th base. Oh, but that probe will give it away. He should know now. Let's see if he... No, he's actually just going to commit on the 3rd. He's going to dive in on this 3rd base here. Stalker's coming in as well. They're going to get pushed back by these Lings. The 3rd base not being focused down. He's looking like he's wanting to go for the fight with the army instead. There we go. Lings do get to surround on that 3rd base. It will end up getting focused down. Already Blitz taking the initiative. 28 probes were killed in this push as well. So already a huge amount of economic damage being dealt. Blitz is going to go ahead and back off. I love the decision just to back up here. You got the damage done. No reason to press or try to press your advantage because, you're up on 5 base at this point. We're going to be on 5 base. Knocking your opponent back down to 3. And I'm sure he has to know about that base down here now. Blitz should know about this base. You may not have seen it, but if he was watching the probes come back, then he definitely would have known. Try going to have to sit back and get his 3rd base back up and running once again. Now, what is the tech choice here? We got Hive on the way for Blitz. Lurker Den is done, so it will be that Roach Ravager, Lurker Comp, Hydra, Lingbane Hydra, something like that. Along those lines right there. A bit of a mix of both. Link's coming down here to his 4th base location. He will end up finding it this time. He's going to go ahead and dive in on top of that. Try getting that alert. Going to come down here to defend. Here we go. Try is going to get push these Lings back. A rest of the Roach Ravager ball does catch up. There are 4 Immortals here, but no shield batteries. Shield batteries could be a big deal in holding this. He is going to have to back up and respect the Ravager bile as Blitz continues to rotate up and try to take this fight. Hydra's joining in on the fray too. Going to add a little bit more DPS to this army. Yeah, at this point, Try is to let this go. Back up. Possibly get some shield batteries for the next defense. Here we go again. We'll pick off a couple of roaches here. But again, another base has been killed off. There's actually a drone in this army. It's kind of funny. He's going to rotate down and try to take the low ground base this time. I'm not too sure about this. I kind of disagree with taking this base. Mainly because of the fact your opponent has been pushing through this location. But I understand you do need that base up. This might be a bad engagement here. This is definitely going to be a bad engagement. This Immortal a little bit exposed on that north side there. It's the west side of that fight. Backing up this ramp, trying to get away. This army is going to get cleaned up here. This might actually spell the end of this game. That's alright. Try getting a little bit of a rally going here. I want this to follow real quick. Ooh. Okay. Here we go. Blitz pushing forward. Army supply more than double of his opponent. He can get in here very easily. Just muscle his way through. There's only 2 Immortals here. There's no static defense. No shield batteries. Is Storm done? Does he have Storm? There's no Side Storm up, so this warping in High Templar is not good for the Archons at this point, so there's no Side Storm. Buster's going to finish up here soon, but this might be the end of that before it even happens. Not sure where Try's trying to go here. He's just walking his... Yeah, there it is. About to say, Try should end up tapping out here. Game number 1 goes in favor of Blitz. Let's go ahead and hop into game number 2. But first, I need to turn something off real quick. I just realized that this was up. Okay, there we go. Alright, we're good. We're good. Go ahead and hop into game number 2 of Blitz versus Try in this week 3 matchup. Here we go. This countdown gets me every time. Like, even when I'm about the ladder, I get on, I'm ready to start playing. Like, this countdown, guys, gets me every time. Like, alright, I'm ready to start firing up my first unit, my first worker. Let's go. But in the bottom right-hand corner, currently up 1-0 in this series, the red Zerd Paces from Valid G. He is Blitz. Blitz changing up a lot in his play that game. He went for more of a macro focus. And his opponent in the top right-hand corner looking to bounce back and tie the series up. It will be Try. Submarine LE. Alright, Bro making a way across the map here. Gonna get over there and poke around, see what he can see, No bases yet. Try, are you watching? Nope. Alright. He had an opportunity to block for that base. He is gonna get in here, however, and take a look around. Try is going for the standard gateway gas so far. Nothing too crazy. Sorry, so let's take a look around the map. I always like to look around the map. See, this is why. Find little things like this right here. These like greenhouses or... I'm not sure what these are. Like hidden in the water. What else is there? What else is there around the map here? You know, a little greenhouse up here. Some map makers like to hide a little bit of a Easter egg here and there. Right, gas is spawning pool, finishing up therefore Blitz on the other side of map. Should see a cybernetics core get tossed down here. There it is. Alright, so this is going to be another one of those slower paced games by the looks of things. It's always tough to cast these alone because like you're just trying to fill in content, you know, have you just be talking. 4 links on the way here for Blitz. Might just be for scouting purposes. Overlord going to get in here, poke around. Oh, I love it. Blitz actually pulling that Overlord back rather than keeping it up here. This like the positioning on this Overlord alone, I feel is a lot better because you know it's going to be over there, right? You know it's going to be a gateway, Cybernetics core, possibly another gateway. The only thing that could be different is maybe a forge gets thrown down here instead. And you don't know whether or not this gas has been taken. That's about it. But you could keep pulling that Overlord back to sit above this location here rather than keeping it above this spot here. Because like this way you know which way the army's going to go. And you can kind of see the traffic of where your opponent's going to move their, move their units around at. We're going to poke in here and see what's going on. Not too much in the way of Protoss. We do have third base on the way down here for Blitz at that 3-minute mark. Speed about halfway done. We do have a robo. All right. So again, not a whole lot going on here. Just going to be interesting to see what it gets done with that robo. Could be for a warp prism, maybe a faster observer. My money's on the warp prism though. What is the tech choice here for Blitz? Is he just going to keep droning up for a while? That's what it looks like he wants to do here. Okay, there's a Roach Warren. Roach Warren is on the way. Twilight Council follow-up as well. Couple more gateways added on. So, judging by what we have 3 Stalkers, a Twilight Council on the way. The Observer has been built. Imagine we'll send this Observer out across the map. So at this point, that's what I would do. I would send that Observer straight over, see what your opponent is up to. This looked like a very similar build the last time, or last game from Blitz. Roach Warren at the 4-minute mark. So not a whole lot being dealt. We do have a little bit of poke going on here from this Ling. Chasing poor Probius around. He's going to run into a couple Stalkers. Blitz now knows that there is a third base in place here. A little bit of oversaturation. Imagine he'll transfer these into gas here. There we go. Alright, so what do we got? Overseer, get in here. Ooh, he just canceled something. What did he just cancel? I missed what that was. Was that a Robotics Bay, maybe? What just got canceled, I wonder? It involved gas, so it could have been Dark Shrine. Could have been a Dark Shrine. Could have been Twilight Council or Templar Archives. I realized that it was a Templar Archives after I said Twilight Council. So what else could happen? All right, so Blitz is going to go ahead and move up to 4 base. Again, we're going to see a very similar style of play the last time around. Both players opting for a similar build. Might have been another Robotics Bay that we got canceled there, or facility. Facility or Bay? Okay, it's facility. It's so confusing because I feel like this should be a facility. The option, or the Robotics Bay should be called a facility. It's just kind of weird, like how that naming came together. I guess like, what should we call this? Oh, let's call this a facility, but call the other one the Bay. Okay. I almost feel like the assembly would go on in the bay versus the facility. I don't know. It's so weird. It's weird. It's a weird naming. This Observer doing a great job keeping up with the movement of Blitz's army here, actually, because, you know, knowing is half the battle. This Observer seeing exactly what is going on is a big deal. This last time is a similar push to this right here that caught, you know, Try a little bit off guard. It cost him a third base, but this time he knows about where his opponent's army is at, so he should be a little bit easier to defend this location. A few gateways coming in will be able to soak up some damage should the push go into the natural. Plus a good mineral dump when you have a bit too much money. Here we go. Blitz is moving up. Blitz did not know about that overseer or the observer flying over his army, so Try is in a much better position to defend. I would absolutely love to see some sentries right now. I feel like some sentries would help him out a lot in this engagement. Maybe a warp prism if he decides to keep the push going. But the only thing's missing from that army. Because if you're going to make a push like this, you know, you're going to be able to catch your opponent in a situation where you have Immortals versus Roaches, which is very good in your favor. The Big Daddy Immortals smack them Roaches around all the time. Well, do it all day long. Bit of an awkward hold up here. I mean, was he waiting for 1-1? I think that might be it. So upgrades will be equal for a while until 2-2 kicks in here. But I'm more worried about the reinforcements that we have coming out of Blitz, because once this engagement starts, depending on the engagement itself. Okay, yeah, Try's just going to back up here. Forces a little bit more of an army out of Blitz, though. Blitz does have the army supply advantage. I love the he's moving back. Oh, it's a great position to move back into. Nice choke there where the Lynx can't get on top of everything. And now Blitz is kind of showed what he was up to there. You know, Try moving back, moving ahead of time. I love the clump of overlords over here. It's kind of funny. But we do have lurkers in play. Now this is where things will get interesting for Try, because if you don't have anything that can really deal damage to these lurkers quickly. Oh, I love what Blitz is up to. He's actually moving these lurkers around to the south, and he's going to dive in on the natural to pull this army out of position while getting these lurkers in place to snipe out the fourth base of Try. And Blitz is going to keep diving deeper, but is this an overextension? He is getting probe kills. He's getting army. He's everywhere right now. He's backing away. He's trying to go for that next base, but I'm loving the bigger army here of Protoss at this point. The lurker's not with this army to fight. Might be a big deal. These Roaches are trapped, and I think this is a big overextension here for Blitz. As he is going to end up losing this entire army. He is rebuilding it back home. 19 Hydras are on the way, but was it worth it? Were those 36 probes worth it? It's all he got. He got to cancel on the 4th, but was it enough to throw his Roaches away? I feel like he could have kept those and had a much better front line here for this fight coming up. Even with the Roaches against Immortals, you know, having Lurkers and Hydras added on will fare you much, much better in the coming fight. Is Storm done? There's no side storm here. There's no side storm here. Oh, where's the army? Is it you? There it is. There we go. Switch over to that unit tab real quick. Sorry about that. I was trying to find it. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while. But Try is going to continue his march forward here. All the lurkers were cleaned up. It's just a few Hydras and lurkers being morphed. And Blitz, I think, has been caught off guard. You know, he doesn't have anything left. Losing those Roaches earlier probably would spell the doom. Even if you have to give up, like, eventually you do need to trade out Roaches, yes, but not in that manner. You want to get more done than that. The march continues. One lurker left, and there's a GG called out. And that will tie the series at 1 apiece. Try tying it up. Well played game there from Try. A little bit more on top of the information, a little bit more aware of the situation going on with that army in the middle of the map. And moving into game number 3. I love when we get 3-game series, guys. This makes a lot of good content right here. Love it. Here we go. Spawning into the top right-hand corner. The red Zerg pieces. Looking to close this series out. Can he do it? It is the one and only Blitz. And then the bottom right-hand corner, his opponent. The pink Protoss pieces. He is Try. This time opting for that Pylon Scout. Good luck, have fun being thrown out from Blitz. I'm actually really excited to see how the series turns out. And, it goes 3 games, but who ends up winning in the end is the big factor here. So far, Blitz just droning up, so nothing too cheeky from him just yet. Gonna get down here and get his natural base. Will it be in time? Okay, yeah, okay. Tried to come back. He could have gone for it. He knows he could have blocked it, but a little bit too slow in that block. He's gonna get here, poke around, see what he can find from Blitz. See if anything smells fishy. So far, it's just a standard hatch gas pool opener. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Gateway is on the way. Is that a second gas? Okay, no, that's 1 gas. Pool being thrown out up front. The cheeky little gas block on this probe. Rather than actually going to take that gas, you just put a probe there. The gas guys will actually be blocked because it's inside that circle where the structure is going to be. Blizzard in their circle hitboxes. Cybernetics Core on the way. Again, very standard openers here. No one trying to be the cheeky. This is game number 3 in the series because, a lot of times you can go for that cheeky play, but it's a matter of whether or not you want to risk it on something like that, because in game 3, especially at week 3 in the season, this is where things are going to start to shape up. Who will end up where seeding-wise. Going to start to see the splits up here of who's going to go down 0-3, or who's going to go down, 1-1, 1-2. Third base on the way here for Blitz. Just waiting for that mineral count to come back up. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, again, it's just very standard. Next is just finishing up here for Protoss. Just jam out to that sweet Terran song. Alright, what do we got going on over here? Looks like some Lings just being cheeky, getting in there, getting a scout. Make a shoot away for any real damage gets done. Just gotta love it when both players decide, you know what, we're gonna play a macro-oriented game this time, because, like I said, the first series Blitz played in, super aggressive style play. Got in, I believe it was against a Protoss too, so he was just able to go in and he just broke right through. And then the second one, against Gooby, as EVZ. He 2-0'd Gooby, yes, but it was that second game. Man, I would love to have seen a third game between those two, because I feel like that would have gone from Roaches to Ling Bane and just been one hectic game. Meanwhile, on the other side over here, we got Try. Who I do believe was against a Zerg of his own. If I remember right, it went 2 games, and you try carriers at the end. It just didn't get enough done with the carriers, or get enough carriers out fast enough before the Hydra Ball got switched. Robo on the way. Again, so a very similar opener. Similar through all 3 games. No one wanting to try anything different. Actually, this Roach War? Okay, no, it's about the same time. 4 minutes, yep. So yes, very standard game overall. Wait, 5 probes? Where are they dying? Oh, they're in the natural. The Lings managed to slip into the natural, and 7 probes have been picked off. Blitz securing a little bit more of that economic lead. It's always things like that that could kind of affect your mental state later, I guess you could say. Like, oh man, how these Lings get in type of deal, and you manage, 7 probes go down, but if you can keep your composure through that, you could be a pretty solid player in the end. Pretty solid game overall. 4th base coming down for Blitz. I mean, I'm sure you guys get what I'm saying, but it's one of those weird things. Like, I know what I'm talking about, but like I can't quite put it out there right. Blitz being a little goofy there with his drones. They were just kind of hanging out, taking a smoke break. Twilight Council on the way. I'm really curious. I mean, we're going to see the same game 3 times in a row. No one doing anything different. The Evo chambers are parked in a little bit different spot this time around. This time in the main versus in the natural. But again, I'm a little bit concerned. What is okay, yeah, Try doesn't know anything outside what he already spotted. Right, so again, this is where things are going to be interesting because 3 times in a row, your opponent is going to do a roach comp to start. You know, he's going to build up a roach ball and then transition into that, the hydras, the lurkers. But what gets you here is the fact you don't know that for sure. A lot of this comes down to just knowing what your opponent has out. So again, like, where's the observer? Do you have an observer on the map anywhere? No, you do not have an observer. I feel that's kind of what won you this the last time, was having that observer on the map, but you don't have one out right now, and that's kind of what has me concerned. Got a little pack of roaches making their way southbound into this third base location. Oh, they're actually sitting in division to Try there. I wonder if he's looking at this map. Hope he'll back up. Ravagers on the way. So we have a Roach Ravager comp. It's going to be hitting on that 1-1. Just about halfway done. He actually rotates around. He noticed it. He saw the mini-map. He was watching the map. Oh, God. But here we go. Roach is going to get pushed back off. Nothing too crazy happening there. A few Lings trading out. So Archons are in play here. Thermal Lance on the way with the Colossi. So this might have been what we were going to see last game that he ended up canceling. I'm kind of worried. This third ball is getting bigger and bigger by the second. Blitz is coming back down into the same location. He's going to dive right in on these gateways and these pylons. That shield battery going to get focused down before it can finish. Gates being picked off. He is getting in on this third base. He is cleaning it up slowly but surely. 6 probes were killed in that little engagement, so some damage being dealt there. He just backs up again. He's not getting too far ahead of himself. Try is actually supply blocked right now, so waiting for his 3 pylons to finish back up. The first Colossi is in play. Lurker Den on the way as well against Colossi, which, you know, I do believe Lurkers against Colossi, the Colossi do win, if I recall. But not if a Corrosive Bile manages to pick it off. How many Colossi do we have out? There should be 2 here. Only 1 so far. There's nothing being produced right now in those robotic facilities. Blitz is just going to rotate around. I love the decision to rotate to the other side of the map. But is Try expecting this? He is coming down right on top of this fight position. This 4th base is going to have to end up being canceled before this army can rotate over. He's not going to be able to hold this. Some Lings making their way up. There we go. Got the cancel. Blitz is just going to back up here. Blitz playing a very, very patient game. This production tab is completely empty. Try is supply blocked once again. He is going to pick up a few units there for free, but it's not really going to make that big a difference unless he can keep the push going. Corrosive Bile's landing on top of that Colossi. Excuse me. This Colossi is plural. There's only 1 out right now, but this production tab, I'm really concerned right now. Try is still supply blocked. I wonder if he actually... Okay, he finally realized the Nexus pylon on the way. Another pylon, but he's still going to be supply blocked for a few more minutes here. Blitz making his way back out once again. He knows the Colossi's out. He's sticking to the Lurker tech. We have not seen the Spire. This Roach Ravager. Ling. Hydra composition. Going to see the Lurkers. Ooh, Banelings getting added into the mix. It's going to put even more strain on Try to have to try and micro against this. The Hydra's on the way. This ball getting bigger and bigger by the second. So Baneling speed just yet. So these are slow Banes, which means you will have a little bit of time to react. But with no Archons in the mix, no Sentries in the mix, you know, it's going to be hard pressed. These Banelings getting on top of there, and 24 probes go down. He's going to rotate back, and he's get the Banelings up here in front. There are some Archons in the mix now. We got these Lings getting on top of this army, getting chewed up really quickly here. Oh, 3 Banelings going to make their way forward to get a pretty decent connection there against the Stalkers. But the real story of this engagement, the 34 probes and another base almost sniped out. The economy of Tri getting even more feeble. The army of Tri getting even more feeble as the Colossi is the last linchpin in this army standing. And it will get taken out. Another round of Stalkers warping in right behind here, but Blitz, he doesn't care. He smells it. He wants that win. He's actually going to back up. All right. All right. Giving a little bit of room to breathe. 2 more Colossi on the way. More Ravagers being morphed in here. Just waiting for the reinforcements to come up. I love this. Playing it safe. Making sure he can get the win. Doesn't want to overextend here. Completely throw away his army like he did last game. I do believe that's what lost him that game. Again, this is all the army of Tri right here. This is the beef. This is all he's got. Is these 2 Colossi and a handful of Stalkers. There's no sentries here to sandbag this either. He's just warping in more and more Stalkers. If he has the sentries in here to force field out some of this army, I do believe this would make it a very different engagement. As you're only engaging maybe half for a few units at a time. But look at this bank. Look at this bank from Blitz. He is maxed out. He can build this up. He can go over and over again. The only thing he has to worry about here is gas. All right, this is all he has to worry about. We have 2 more Colossi being added on to Tri's army. He's going to bring it up to a nice grand total of 5. 2 forges being added. He had no upgrades? Oh, that's a big deal, actually. It really is just the life of Colossi, you know, keeping this army alive. But the lurkers are going to make the big difference in this next engagement. In there, Shabur, right there. There we go. This army is standing right in range of them. Oh, no. Blitz is just going to separate it right to the 3rd. These lurkers sandbagging it. This is starting to look very familiar to how he lost game number 2. However, there is no tech units here. It is just Stalkers and a morphing Archon. Oh, no. Try as he might, cannot secure game number 3, and Blitz will take the 2-1 victory this week. Very good games overall. Love the macro pace, love the slower pace, and that, you know, there's a couple things there. Blitz, the overextension with the roaches in game number 2. I do believe that's kind of what lost him that one. Keeping that army alive would have been a lot better. But overall, and again, in game number 3, Try just not having the information is what it came down to, because, you know, have your opponent decide to go into some kind of air tech there, and you not know about it, you're building, say, Robo, you could get, you know, completely rolled at that point, because it's like, okay, well, now what are you going to do? Because all you got to shoot up with is Stalkers, right? So in that case, you know, that's what I'm saying. You've got to have that information gathering out and in play. Guys, I will be back with more this week. From week number 3 as a gauge roll in. I will try to cover them as fast as I can and get them out. I do have a big chunk on the way, so just stand by. The games will be up here probably tonight. I'll have them uploaded and uploading overnight. So with that, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.